It's not imposter syndrome. It's oppression. This is a outstanding video from Alicia Renese. Thank you so much, Alicia Renese. I just want to say I started watching this video today on my way to personal training, and I literally had to take some stuff in my car and just write notes. You were just dropping so much knowledge. I got my shirt on, speak your truth, okay? You speak your truth, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you. So continue to speak your truth, Alicia Renese, because you are helping to heal us by you speaking your truth, okay? So again, the video, it is not imposter syndrome, it is oppression. Again, by Alicia Renese. Check out that video. So I want to share with you some reflections I had about that video, particularly in relation to Black women in toxic jobs, okay? So if you don't know me, I'm Dr. Kamani. I'm a licensed clinical psychologist, also a toxic job survivor who's out here in these streets speaking my truth, okay? Because I know that by speaking my truth, I'm helping to liberate other Black women. I'm helping other Black women to know there's another way and that you can get out of toxic jobs, because those situations, those jobs are a form of trauma and they can really harm you, okay? So I'm helping you get out. So I want to talk about imposter syndrome. And again, this video by Alicia Renese. So when she talks about this, I jotted down some notes. I'm going to share with you my notes and my reflections, particularly in relation to a toxic job, okay? So the first thing she said was that the game is rigged against us. And it's true. So the game is rigged against us as Black people. When we're in this society, we know that many people are not there for us and they're trying to harm us. So the game is rigged. So when you think about going into a toxic job, the game is rigged already. So the system is toxic. There's a lot of racism, sexism, and so many other isms in these jobs. And so when you come into the job, and you might be thinking, well, if I come and work really hard and I do all these other things, then I will be valued for my work and all these other things. No, you won't, because the game is rigged, okay? So she talked about that the game is rigged in relation to oppression. So let us keep that in mind. So that's the first point I want to talk about, okay? She said that it is ruled by oppression. Think about your job. It probably is ruled by oppression, okay? The second thing she talked about, which I love, she said, the door and the room is crooked. And it is. So again, you think about the system that you're in, the door, the rooms that you're in at these toxic jobs are already crooked. So it's shady already, and you're thinking about trying to contort yourself to be in a room, a door that's crooked, in a system and a game that's not meant for us, that's rigged against us because it's ruled by oppression. So again, very important reflection, okay? So something else she mentioned was a lot of times the imposter syndrome or imposter phenomenon and all that research related to it, it focuses on the individual and it doesn't look at the system. So when you look at the system, when you look at these environments that you're in, sometimes that's part of that gaslighting. So the gaslighting is things are happening in that environment that's harming you. It's harming you. It's making you feel like you're less than, that you're not worthy. That's what's happening in that environment. The self-gaslighting is making you think that you need to do something better because you're not good enough. Okay? So that's the self-gaslighting. So the environment is toxic. It's gaslighting you. It's making you think there's something wrong with you. And that's the issue in terms of the imposter syndrome and imposter phenomena. It's focused on the individual. It's not looking at the toxic system, okay? The other thing I want to talk to you about is that the imposter syndrome, imposter phenomena was based upon research that was done on white women, okay? So, you know, our experiences are very different from white women, particularly in the workplace. I've had so many people reach out to me. I'm gonna do a video about this eventually, about the treacherous experiences they've had with white women. And I will just expand that to say any people engaging in white supremacist behaviors, okay? Because I've had the workplace bully that I had was not a white woman. She considered herself BIPOC, but she was terrorizing so many people, not just me. She was terrorizing so many people, okay? So again, the experiences might be different. So when you think about the research, and I made a connection today, I had an aha moment. So you know how Oprah, if you used to watch Oprah back in the day, you know how Oprah would talk about like that aha moment? Okay, I had an aha moment listening to Alicia Renese and reflecting on why I have had this visceral reaction when people brought up imposter syndrome or imposter phenomena. And I'm going to tell you why in terms of personal experiences and trauma. So I've gone to graduate school 2 times, okay? So the first time I went to graduate school, it was at a large public institution in the South. So it was in Atlanta, and it was a large public institution. I'm just leery about calling names, just like with my former employer. I don't call out the name, but I describe it enough so you know what it is. You know what the employer is, okay? So the former employer was the second largest school district in the nation. This graduate school program was at a large public institution in Atlanta. You can Google both of those and figure out who I'm talking about, okay? So when I was in this graduate school program, I was in my early 20s. I had graduated from Spelman, felt very confident, graduated from Spelman magna cum laude. I felt good because Spelman is not good to graduate. I mean, it's not easy, not easy to graduate from. And I was magna cum laude, so I felt a sense of confidence, right? So I go into this PhD clinical psychology program at this institution. So when I was at this institution, I eventually left because of racism. And I've talked a little bit about that experience when I did this panel talking about racism experienced by many of us in educational situations. So for me, I experienced racism elementary, high school. I had a pastor in college. Thank God I went to Spelman. Thank God. Thank God. Thank you to Spelman, okay? Then in graduate school. So when I go into this graduate program, I'm in my early 20s. There were 3 of us and 3 black women in this, it was a small class. I think it was an intro to behavioral therapy or something. And after class, the professor said to us, I want to meet with you 3 after class. Okay, so he meets with us after class, and he says, black people usually fail this class. So I'm going to make it mandatory that you guys come to this study session every week with me. And I remember it like it was yesterday. We were all sitting there mortified. Okay, mortified because this is our professor saying this to us. And when you think about being in graduate school or any type of educational situation, there's a power dynamic. So we're students, he's a professor, and he's telling us we have to go to this mandatory study session, okay? So after this situation, the 3 of us came together and we were talking about, you know, how outrageous that was, how racist that was. And so we sought support. No, this is what we did. No. We went to the first one. We went to the first so-called study session, and it was like an oral exam, terrible oral exam. So he is like, it was like an inquisition, like he's asking us like these details about what's in the book, okay, in the readings. So after that, we met together, the 3 of us met together, and we said, this is wrong, we need to seek support. The first person that I sought out, okay, was a black man who worked in the program. So again, he's a clinical psychologist. He works in the clinical psychology program. And when I went to him, he said to me, oh, he was just playing. He's just joking with you. He's just joking. That's my friend. He's just playing with you. You see the look on my face? Okay? He was supposed to be looking out for us, this black man. And he tells us this man, and interesting, this man was not, he didn't consider himself white, even though you look at him, you would think he was white, but he was from Spain, okay? So that was like okay? So then I go to my so-called advisor, who was a woman who didn't look like us, and I told her what happened. And she said, oh, did you find that study group helpful? Maybe he was just trying to be helpful. Okay, this again shows you how the racism that we experience in these educational environments. So I'm saying all this to say that one of the researchers of the imposter syndrome, imposter phenomena, one of the researchers worked at that institution. She was in that department. She was in that clinical psychology department. Okay? I sought her out for support during this time. And I was telling her about that racism that I experienced. And let me tell you, she was of no support to me at all. So then I made that connection. I did not make all these years later, I never made that connection between why I had this visceral reaction when people say imposter syndrome, imposter phenomena, because I thought about her and my interaction with her and how she did not help to support me at all. Okay? So again, that's the context. Sometimes when we think about why something might be for us and why it doesn't resonate for us, I invite us to sit back and think about that. Okay, so I just wanted to tell you in terms of my perspective and my history with people who say one thing, but they do another. They're not there to really be there for you, right? So I'm thinking about James Baldwin. I can't believe what you say because I see what you do, okay? So the other thing I wanted to talk about too was Alicia Renese made the point about the environment. And when you think about work environments, many times they focus on your productivity, proving your worth through your productivity. And that's something that also would just annoy it would just really annoy me, okay? Because there was this connotation that your worth is tied to your so-called productivity. And like Alicia Renese talked about, when you think about this has roots in slavery. So Colette Elizabeth, Marissa Price, me, we talk about toxic jobs, and many times are like plantations. There's a lot of parallels. And so when you think about productivity, the so-called notion of productivity, and you think about what our history has been since we've been here, and for Black people in other parts of the world, in terms of colonialization, all of us have had this experience of people exploiting our labor, and that we have been treated cruelly because of our sense of productivity, what somebody's saying about our productivity, and people benefiting from our productivity, okay? So that is always a trigger for me, okay? So again, looking at that historical context, so when people say high performing and they're tying it into your so-called productivity, I just, again, invite you to observe that, okay? So another point she said, and I got notes, I got so many notes, okay? So what I'm gonna do is, because I didn't even finish the video, I just started watching the video, I didn't even finish it, I had all these ideas, I'm gonna do a separate video, okay? Because it would be so long if I waited until I watched the whole video, okay? So I'm just giving you some other little things, okay? So the fifth point she said, I'm about to wind down soon. The fifth point she said is, or that made me think about this. This is something I thought about when I heard her talk, right? So as I thought about all the different points she said, right, and reflecting on my own history, something I thought about, and this is what I invite you to think about. I invite you to think about this, okay? Who are the real imposters at your job? Who are they? Are they your colleagues? Are they your so-called supervisors? Because what you might experience is that those people who might be treating you shady or foul or disrespectful or demeaning or all these negative things, many times they are the true imposters, and they have deep-seated insecurities, and you will see them. You will see and you will hear evidence of their insecurities, okay? It comes out. It does come out. Just pay attention, okay? They are the true imposters, right? So sometimes my friends and I would be talking about things and about some person who got over, right? So think about how many people at your job maybe do not earn that position. They don't deserve that position. You might look at them like, how did you become a supervisor? You just cannot believe it, okay? So if that's your situation, they are imposters. So sometimes my friends and I was like, oh, that person's an imposter, okay? So think about who are the imposters at your job. And again, when they're engaging in that negative behavior towards you, more than likely, it is triggered by their own insecurities, and they are trying to project their own insecurities onto you, and they're trying to project their own sense of incompetence on you. Okay, so when these things are happening in the workplace, I invite you to think about who are the real imposters here. What is that about? And how are they showing you evidence of their deep-seated insecurities and ways that they're trying to project that incompetence, project their insecurities onto you? Be mindful of that. And the other way you can tell is when they start talking or acting in a way that sends you some kind of message that they are, oh no, this is the one you'll hear, that you're intimidating people, okay? No, they are intimidated because of their own projected insecurity and their own projected incompetence. I don't want you to remember that, okay? Okay, this is the last point I'm going to say, and then I'm going to do another video about this, okay? The last thing I want to say to you is that when you think about imposter syndrome and imposter phenomena and all those things, okay, which I question again, just like Alicia Renese was talking about, I question in what ways this really relates to us as Black women in the workplace, okay? It might be a little different if you're starting your own business. Sometimes you might have some anxiety, like, are people going to buy my product? Are people going to buy my service? To me, that's a little different than the imposter syndrome and phenomena as it's been presented, okay? So I'm signing off with this. As Black women, we have been told and shown so many lies about who we are and who we are to be. We have been told as we come into the workplace, so again, you know that if you got that job, that you are doing it. More than likely, you are doing it, because we don't get usually easy pass to get these jobs. Other people can come in and they can be called mediocre at best. Not us. We don't have those passes. So the fact that you're even there at that job, you already know that you're dope, okay? More than likely, you're doing a really good job at that job on top of that, okay? So this is what I want to say to you as I'm closing. When people try to send messages to you that you are not enough, and it starts triggering that self-gaslighting of yourself, and you're starting to question yourself, and that imposter syndrome starts coming in, I invite you to remember all the things I talked about today, and that Alicia Renese has talked about as well. And I invite you to think about and to know that you are more than enough. Oh my God, the light is going down. I'm sorry. Okay, so I want you to remember that you are more than enough. You're not, don't let anybody question your worth, okay? When they say you are less than, you know that you are more than, and they are intimidated by your light. Any place, any situation that tells you to dim your light, that's not the place for you, okay? You are more than enough. I want you to remember that, okay? And I remember, okay, for real, I'm signing off soon. I remember this Black woman said something that I loved. She said, as Black women, we're told the lie that we're not enough, we're not worthy, that we have to seek external validation. Not only are we more than enough, when you're in a situation where people tell you to dim your light, that's problematic. But Black women, we have to remember we are the light. Okay, I'm speaking my truth. I'm speaking our truth. Okay? We are the light. Okay? So if you're in a toxic job, these are all your experiences. You're being made to feel that you're less than. You're starting to feel this kind of those inklings that that's not the place for you. Okay? So I'm trying to help you get out. If this is your experience, I'm trying to help you get out. Okay? So one of the ways I want to help you get out, not only is watching my YouTube channel and you sharing this video with other Black women to help them get out. The other thing is I'm trying to show you by my own example that you can leave and do very, 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 very well, okay? And I also want to show you how to get out in terms of getting your money get your money right so you can get out. Because many times we stay at these toxic jobs because of finances. So I want you to sign up. I want you to think about signing up. And I hope that you do sign up for the Get Your Money Right Financial Masterclass so you can leave that toxic job, okay? This financial masterclass is for Black women to help you to get your money right so you can leave that toxic job, okay? Now, I'm partnering with Dr. Roche Brown. She is also a licensed clinical psychologist. Okay, I think my phone is telling me I'm talking too much. Okay, so I'm gonna sign off. So again, get the masterclass. Okay, so get your money right, leave that toxic job. Masterclass. It's a financial masterclass for Black women. January 3rd and 4th. Get your ticket. Get your ticket right now. Okay, because it might get sold out just like the other one did. Okay, so I'm signing off. Give this video a thumbs up and share this video with at least 2 other Black women. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, please do so. And again, get your ticket. Okay, I think my phone is telling me I'm talking too much. Okay, so I'm gonna sign off. So again, get the masterclass. Okay, so get your money right, leave that toxic job. Masterclass. It's a financial masterclass for Black women. January 3rd and 4th. Get your ticket. Get your ticket right now. Okay, because it might get sold out just like the other one did. Okay, so I'm signing off. Give this video a thumbs up and share this video with at least 2 other Black women. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, please do so. And again, get your ticket. And Dr. Roche Brown is not only a licensed clinical psychologist, she is a financial psychologist. And I work with her to get my money right. So when I was trying to get out that toxic job, I knew I had to get my finances together, and I need to find out how to replace my income. So I work with Dr. TK to find out how to replace my income in terms of other skills, so I can make money, right? And then Dr. Roche helped me get my money together so I can go. So I'm partnering with Dr. Roche for this masterclass. So we already did one last week. It was dope. It was fire, okay? So sign up to get on the next one, right? So the next one is coming up January 3rd and 4th. So start your new year right. Get your money right. Sally's. And as a PS, remember, security considerations, the masterclass will be Zoom webinar. No one will be able to see you. Your name will not be listed. If you want to comment, then you can change your name, okay? Zoom webinar, okay? So get your masterclass ticket. Okay, see you later. Bye. So again, sign up for the masterclass to get your money right so you leave that toxic job masterclass starting in January. The next one is coming up in January 3rd and 4th. So get in that description. Okay, get your ticket. Get your ticket. Okay, it keeps cutting off. I'm leaving. Okay, but get your ticket for the Get Your Money Right financial masterclass. You can leave that toxic